With less than 2 weeks to Nigeria's elections, how is the naira likely to fare? Joining us to discuss this is Olalekan Olabisi, an FX trader at GT Bank. Thanks so much, Lekan, for joining us. So we've seen a lot of things the central bank has put forward to try and stabilize the naira. Some success, if you look at the last week, although many will argue that that is also because a few oil companies sold dollars. But your thoughts about what more we can do, and what do you think they could even be doing differently going forward?
Yeah, going forward, I think the CBN, we just need some steady supply. You know, last week was, like you said, last week was quite effective because we saw some oil company sales.
Yeah.
Now, what we see is a couple of weeks oil company sales and 1 or 2 weeks, you know, a dry run. So I think the CBN needs to come in strongly in the market.
Right.
You know, just some form of steady supply for like 1 month, 2 months, you know, just to calm nerves.
Right.
You know, just to reassure people that, look, you don't have to rush to get your FX.
Right.
Continue your business as usual whenever you want this thing. Yes, there's devaluation, but we want some stability, some price stability. So whenever you want to get your FX, you know, you can, you know, you can have access to.
Right. Speaking of calming nerves, of course, the CBN governor was quite vocal over the last 1 week, saying that there's no cause for alarm. Do you think that the market is buying that? I mean, what's the sentiment amongst traders right now? Yeah,
well, you know, the thing is, Nigeria, the way we are set up, we are very import dependent.
Yeah.
The truth is, there will always be demand. And yes, the CBN, I think they've tried. I think what rocked the boat was oil prices. Nobody knew where it was going to bottom. We still don't know, but at least we've been stable around $50.
Yeah.
So I think if this continues, like I said, I think CBN, they need to put, you know, their money where their mouth is. Just come on, give this market some supply. Yes, you may want to argue, oh, we don't know how much the demand is out there, but they are CBN, they have data and all of that, and I think if they do that, we'll just see some stability at least.
In terms of what they've tried to do with the bureau de changes and the parallel market rate, which of course moved on to 210 naira to the dollar, let's analyze the success of that move, because it's come fairly stable at 210, but do you think the jury is still out? Do you think that we could still see some weakness in the parallel market?
Well, the truth is, the cut off, you know, their supply, yeah, those CBN increased what they sell to them at their own window, but really, that's not much if you look at, you know, what these BDC guys do. So, like you said, for now, I think it's too early to tell because it's still a matter of demand and supply.
Right.
Once those guys also run out of supply, we'll also see them push further.
Right.
So I think for now, yes, they are temporarily stable, but, you know, we'll see how it goes.
Right, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's talk about liquidity in the interbank market and what that does for the currency. Of course, the argument has always been made that we need to mop up that liquidity so that the pressure doesn't go to the naira. And over the last week, how will you assess liquidity right now and how that is impacting the naira?
Well, last week market closed more liquid than where it opened. Although we saw CBN, you know, I think they conducted like 4 or more auctions, and they sold at 3, you know. And we saw people, you know, the T-bills guys, we saw some sell-offs in the short term, just trying to get better rates at the, you know, at the OMO auction. But, you know, the thing is, I think for the naira, it's more of a perception game. It's not really about liquidity. Like, if I feel, oh, 2-3 months from now, I don't know where rates should be. I have some bills. Let me just take what I can take today. So, like I said, yes, there's liquidity part of it, but at the end of the day, it's still perception. I think the naira still needs some form of supply.
Right. Of course, while the central bank governor was speaking last week, one of the points he made was, don't bring your demand forward. If you need to import 5 elements over 5 months, do that. Don't import everything right now. Are we still seeing that? Are we still seeing that kind of pressure, people bringing their demand forward?
Yeah, well, like we said, the CBN, I think they've done a lot of work. They've tried to discourage that. They've tried to, you know, tried to do a lot of things to discourage that. But the truth is, you know, for the businessman out there, he just is looking at his P&L. It's already bad. He's seen devaluation of how many naira that he didn't budget, you know. So I think it will take some time before people, you know, go back to what they used to do, you know. But for now, I still think people want to take out whatever they can take out.
This, just throwing this in a different direction here. Of course, we know that many banks have issued Eurobonds in the past, so they have this FX that they can tap. Is there any connection between that FX in the Eurobond market with the local market? Do you see a link at all in terms of demand and supply dynamics?
Well, a lot of the Eurobond that the banks have issued in the past was, for their dollar books, basically. That's their dollar loan books, which we've seen. I think there was we had a lot of dollar loan growth in 2014, especially in the oil and gas sector.
Right.
So I think they're just like two parallel. I don't think yes, in a way, but no, they're like two parallel. I'm raising Eurobonds to finance my, my dollar obligations. So as a bank, yes, I have my naira book. I also have a robust, dollar book.
Okay, now let's look forward into this week. Of course, just less than 2 weeks to the elections. What are your broad expectations? It's been calm over the last 1 week. Are we likely to stay this way going forward?
Well, like you said, it's been calm over the last 1 week, but Nigeria is a funny country. But, I think for us it would be nice if it stays this way. We don't want all of the violence, apart from the Northeast, the old Boko Haram, which is already taking, which is having a strong effect on the country. But for now, I think it's been good. The two parties have been non-violent.
Of course, after the elections, that will be the big test. I think some people are still quite concerned about changing policy from the central bank, maybe from the government. Eventually, we should see what the final budget will be, because clearly we can't budget at $65 per barrel now.
Yeah. Well, there's a school of thought that everybody just waits until after the election. The truth is, I think, without a crystal ball, but we'll see what happens after the election. That's the safest way to put it.
We have 2 weeks to go. We'll see how it happens. Thank you so much. Olalekan Olabisi, an FX trader at GT.